Discover solutions to issues that affect your family and professional life with practical information to help you get past life's adversities. Take a proactive approach to power up your life with Rosalie's expert resources.
We all make New Year's resolutions, and this year we're going to explore some long-awaited commitments that will benefit all of us. It's no surprise that losing weight to be healthier is one of the most common New Year's resolutions. But many of us fail at our dieting goals. Chef Chad Sarno joins us to share some resolution solutions that can help us promote healthier lifestyle changes that are sustainable. Good morning, Chef Sarno.
Good morning, Rosalie. Thank you for having me.
What are your top 3 tips for simple changes for anyone looking to make healthy eating resolutions?
If you're going to start embracing a healthier lifestyle, healthier diet, it's first step is cleansing the kitchen. So going through your cupboard, going through your fridge, getting rid of those indulgent foods that you know aren't serving your body well, and then surrounding yourself with healthy food. So that's the first step, because that's really important. Is clearing out your home first, your kitchen. Next step is just to get in the kitchen, start experimenting with some fruits and veggies and different grains and different beans that you may not be familiar with. So just getting in there, playing with your food, having fun. And then third is so many people set these far-fetched goals for the resolutions and for the new year that it's all about really taking the steps, because if you look at the standard American diet, which is over 70% processed food, just the step of eliminating processed food is massive for most people. So also another simple step, start emphasizing whole grain. So whole grain cereals, breads, pastas, flours, and so forth. So it's all about the simple steps to get you to your resolution.
So how do you educate the public to understand the importance of eating healthy while making vegetables taste so great?
So it's all about the sauce. It really comes down to the sauce. Emphasizing fresh herbs as much as possible, whole spices, fresh spices, and then building flavors from there. So using different vinegars you may not be used to, different whole food fats, some nuts, seeds, some avocado. You can actually make some great cream-based sauces out of those. And then just really working with freshness and working with seasonal product at its peak of freshness and sweetness as well.
Is it more expensive to eat healthier?
What I have over here, Rosalie, I have a number of dishes. I have a couple breakfast bowls for under $2, so affordable. So under $2, you can get these breakfast bowls, you can make them yourself. They're so quick, so easy. Kids love them. My daughter loves this one, for example. And it's what these are, what I've done is I've broken these up into components to make them very versatile. So you start with the whole grain. This one, for example, is millet. You can use any kind of milk of your choice, non-dairy milk, it's coconut milk. Tons of fresh mango, frozen mango you can put in there. I have some pomegranate seeds and some pistachios. That's so savory, so filling, hearty breakfast. And then this one over here, I have some steel cut oats with some blueberries, some pecans, and some dates. And you cook that all down and then top it off with fresh fruit. Amazing dishes, really hearty, great way to start the morning, especially for kids or if you're on the run. And those are under $2, like I mentioned. Then I have some savory bowls as well. Same thing, breaking it up into components. So I start with a base. You can use a whole grain, you can use potatoes, you can use whole grain pasta, which I have here. Then add your favorite bean in there, a steamed green in there. Here I have some chard in here. Then some other vegetables, maybe some zucchini, some olives, and then your beans, like I mentioned. And then you can top it off with a piece of your favorite protein, whether it's salmon, tofu, tempeh, chicken, whatever you wish.
Thanks, Chef, for your healthy tips to change our unhealthy eating habits.
Welcome home, man.
They come back to parades, high school bands, and celebrations. We welcome them with open arms as heroes. Their tours of duty are behind them. Their challenges are not. Many will spend longer coming back from the war than they spent in the war, retraining, searching for jobs, recovering from scars, some visible, some not. Find out what you can do to help at welcomebackveterans.org.
Another bad habit we have is how we dispose of our everyday plastic bottles. Here with New Year's tips to properly recycle and close the recycling loop is Jennifer Killinger of the American Chemistry Council. It seems recycling guidelines change often. Can you tell us some general do's and don'ts of recycling?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. You know, I'm going to talk about this in two different groups. The first plastics are, as you mentioned, we've got a lot of bottles that we can recycle. So it's everything from your beverage bottles to orange juice bottles to your milk jugs, even things outside the kitchen like your laundry detergent and your shampoo bottles. And one of the neat things that's fairly recent is recyclers want your caps too. And the best way to make that work is to just replace the cap right back on the bottle before you put it in the recycling bin. The second type of plastics I'm going to talk about are your softer plastics, things like grocery bags, dry cleaning bags, your newspaper bags, even things from the store like bread bags, and the product overwrap that comes over cases of sodas or around diapers and baby wipes. If you're a mom like me, you just take all that great material, store it in a plastic grocery bag, and you can deliver it the next time you go back to the grocery store or any of the major national retail chains. Places like Walmart, Target, and Lowe's all are collecting this great material because recyclers want it.
People don't realize how many everyday items we use that are from recycled materials.
You know, plastics are a type of material that designers have been using for a long time to really push the envelope, but nowadays we're seeing a lot more designers specifying recycled plastics. So I've got here a t-shirt and a running shoe. Both of these are made with 8 recycled beverage bottles. And we've got over here a really high-end designer handbag that's made from recycled plastics, and also some really cute earrings. These are some of my very favorite products. These are made from recycled kitchen plastics, things like yogurt cups and reusable plastic food storage containers. And this cutting board is made from 60 yogurt cups. So you think about what an efficient use of plastics that yogurt cup is to begin with. And when you're done with it, put it right in the recycling bin and folks can use it for something durable like this cutting board. If you're not sure about what you can recycle in your area, check online. There's a great website called earth911.com. You can enter your zip code and figure out how to recycle just about everything specific to your community. For more info, visit plasticsmakeitpossible.com, and while you're there, you can enter a contest to win any of these great products made from recycled plastics.
We can all be energy savers. It's easy. Turn off lights. Use energy-saving light bulbs. And turn off electronics and appliances when not in use. Learn what you can do today at energy.gov/kids.
Conversion of water into food.
You may not be able to make food fall out of the sky.
It really works!
But you can fight hunger in your community. Just visit feedingamerica.org and become a hunger helper.
Danny Seo is a man born on Earth Day and has been called part MacGyver and one part HGTV. He's here to take our recycling to another level called upcycling, which is an upgrade over normal recycling efforts to create beautiful things with stuff we already have. Tell us, where do we start looking for our upcycling items?
You know, I think it's something you go through your house and you go through your attics or in the basement or through closets or you know, we all have a junk drawer, right, at home, full of things that you keep them for some reason and you don't know what to do with them. And so for me, it was all about being inspired to look at the things that we commonly have, we don't want to throw away or you know, we don't know what to do with, and finding a new purpose for them. And so a lot of these projects in the upcycling book, more than 100 of them, are very easy to do, very, very affordable to do, and if you have a lot of the supplies to make them, Could also be $0 DIY projects for your home too. But the most important thing was that I didn't want to just create projects where you're making more stuff. I wanted things to have a function, an interesting aesthetic and beauty, and things that actually would look really great in your own home.
So what are some basic supplies a do-it-yourselfer needs to complete an inexpensive upcycling project?
I would say my top 3 must-have items, and I think most of us already have these, is one, an excellent glue gun. You want to have one that really heats up well, not those rinky-dinky ones you find at the craft store, but get a professional grade glue gun. It costs just a few dollars more, but at the end result, it's going to last you a lot longer. Number 2, get the sharpest possible scissors you have, and dedicate those scissors only for these DIY projects. And then number 3, I would say, would be a cordless drill. So get a great cordless drill, all the different drill bits that come with it. I have to say, those are the 3 things that I always go to. You could probably accomplish 50 of the projects just using those materials. I mean, just even with sharp scissors, you see this little fun, beautiful arrangement of flowers right here? These are just plastic water bottles that I cut open with scissors, a little bit of spray paint, and you end up with something that is a beautiful little springtime arrangement for a party, for a kid's party. I even just love to use these as little gift toppers. You just stick it on top of the present and it's ready to go. Scissors and a water bottle, how easy is that?
So why is upcycling so important today?
I think upcycling is so important for today's world because we want to have more personalization in our homes. We want our homes to reflect sort of our own creative style and our own spirit. And so instead of having a cookie cutter home that feels like a catalog or something that's completely store-bought, it's a way of finding things like the shadow box or, you know, a lamp like this and personalizing it and making your own. So if you're not a crafter, if you're someone who doesn't want to spend hours and hours and hours making something, if you want instant results and not a lot of money to do it, upcycling really is the way to go, to take something that's sort of boring or ordinary and making it super extraordinary. So these little trips through stores and through your own closets and your basement and your attic can be super inspiring, and you just get these extraordinary things.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family. Ooh. So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Some people struggle with their mortgage payments. They become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Old secrets can be upcycled as well and gain public interest. For decades, Coca-Cola's top secret formula has been locked up under tight security in a bank vault. Joining us this morning is Ted Ryan, Director of Archives for Coca-Cola. Mr. Ryan, after all these years, why did Coke decide to move the formula?
We decided to move the formula as a culmination of our 125th anniversary. On May 8th this year, we celebrated our 125th anniversary, and we were trying to think of what we could do that would be a great capstone for the anniversary year. And moving to formula was just a way that we could really celebrate, and we could get closer to bring our formula closer to our fans and our consumers. It's a fascinating story. At the very beginning, it wasn't actually even written down. The first time it was ever written down was in 1919, when it was used as collateral on a loan when the Woodruff Group was buying the company. So they put it in the bank in New York City, where it lived for 5 years, and then in 1925, it was brought back to Atlanta. People used to claim they would have it, they would offer to try to sell versions of the formula, but it's always been a secret, and it's the most closely guarded trade secret in America. The real secret formula for Coca-Cola is the happiness and the optimism that lives within the brand itself.
A new survey reveals not all wintertime sore throats are a result of the common cold or flu virus. To discuss this survey and break down whether it's just a pain in the throat or a serious problem is Dr. Daniel Hussar, editorial board member of Pharmacy Times. Tell us about this new survey and what it revealed about sore throats.
Well, the Chloraseptic survey on sore throats identified a lot of reasons, some of which we would expect to be responses. And these would be like colds, which are caused by a virus, as well as coughs and some other symptoms. But some of the things that we weren't necessarily anticipating were some other explanations for sore throats that some people identified. Situations such as yelling or cheering at a football game or some other spectator event. And sometimes partying, just talking, being in professions or activities such as individuals in the news media and teachers. Sometimes the constant or continuing use of the voice can lead to a dryness that results in irritation and sore throat.
Are certain people more prone to sore throats than others?
Individuals who need to use their voice a lot, such as individuals like yourself. In my profession of teaching, it's important that we have the clarity and the quality of our voice. And when that's compromised by irritation, which can go beyond the discomfort, I think it sort of works on your psyche also, that you're not satisfied with how you're communicating. So I think these are challenges. Individuals who are traveling, which is common during this time of the year, that being in a confined space in a crowded area for long periods of time, this also can contribute to the occurrence of symptoms like sore throat.
So how can I tell if I have a strep throat or just a regular sore throat?
That's an excellent question, Rose, and I would suggest that we consider the extremes of symptoms. If the throat is a lot sorer than usual, if it is sore when swallowing rather than just like a minor irritation, if there's fever up above 100, this would be a good indication to see a physician to have that situation checked. Because if it is a strep throat, an antibiotic should be prescribed. And unlike many of the sore throat products that are available without a prescription, an antibiotic does require a prescription. Now, the pharmacist is an excellent source of information and guidance with regard to the severity of symptoms, as well as the selection of a product if the symptoms are considered to be minor. And just for example, I and other pharmacists can make a recommendation of a product. In fact, for a sore throat, pharmacists most often recommend Chloraseptic, which is available in two types of formulations. There's a throat lozenge, which dissolves slowly in the mouth, and also a throat spray. And products like this have active ingredients that work quickly, and because they're acting right at the site of the discomfort, they are not likely to get to other parts of the body where they might cause adverse events. And pharmacists can also evaluate whether other symptoms are present. If, for example, there is also a headache that might be associated with sore throat or nasal congestion as part of a cold, the pharmacist could recommend a painkiller or fever reducer, or they could recommend a nasal decongestant if there's a problem with nasal congestion. So it's important to obtain that advice from a pharmacist and select the product carefully. But there are options with which we can treat ourselves without the need for a prescription.
Thank you, Dr. Hussar.
Welcome to Fogel's.
Beautiful, isn't it?
You expect options everywhere else. Why not with your medical treatment? Talk with your doctor to explore all your options and find what's right for you. Visit ahrq.gov.
Some people struggle with their mortgage payments. They become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Florida's statewide drug enforcement strike force targeted distribution and supply points across the state, totaling 937 arrests, including 17 doctors and 250,000 pills and $1.7 million in cash. So, Dr. Kraus, why such a dramatic increase in prescription painkiller dependence?
Well, we really don't know why this crisis is happening. There is obviously, by that report you just quoted, the CDC, that it's a significant problem. And the Pain Society of America, the professionals who treat pain, are basically helping educate physicians, and so is the American Society of Addiction Medicine. So one aspect of it is that physicians need education, and also the other aspect is that the population, the lay population, also needs to be educated, keeping the medicine in a lockbox and away from children and other people who might misuse, abuse, and divert it.
How about the individual resources available to beat addiction, or resources to address the impact on the entire family?
Well, the patient's families or significant other, spouse or partner, can turn also to this website, turntohelp.com, to understand how they can make effectively make a plan or to help. They could ask the patient's doctor to inform him or her what's going on, and so that intervention can certainly make a difference. The incidence of medication abuse, painkiller abuse in Miami is 25 per 100,000, which is significant, very significant. And it's going to take the effort of all of us to get a handle on it, and we have the weapons to make this work.
Thank you, Doctor, for joining us this morning.
Have a good day, and thank you.
The biggest challenges women face advancing through the aging menopausal process is one's fear and reluctance to admit hormonal changes. To help us understand premenopause and discover the signs and symptoms to distinguish what's normal and what's not, is Dr. Whitney Pollack, OBGYN specialist and advocate for women to be more proactive with their health needs. When does premenopause begin, and how long does it last in a woman's aging process?
Well, premenopause is really defined as anyone who is still getting a period, but around the average age of 35 to 50. And what we note during that time is that things start to change. The cycles can start to change. So we might see more irregularity or more heaviness.
What is the most common sign of premenopause?
Would be that change in the cycle. And although it might be natural, it's sometimes just not acceptable. For instance, in your Florida lifestyle, are you going to miss a day at the beach because of heavy cycles? Or does someone want to have to leave their child's soccer game or leave work early because of heavy cycles? So this is something that women are embarrassed or ashamed to address with their physician. But if you can't talk to us, Rosalie, who can you talk to?
What about changes in a woman's period? Can she determine if they're normal premenopausal or something else?
Although the changes may be normal, they may impact her quality of life. So she does need to be evaluated by a physician, but there are so many options that we can offer. One conservative option would be, for instance, oral contraceptive or medication by mouth to control periods. But for some women who are not interested in future childbearing and have already had some type of sterilization, either they've had their tubes tied or their partner's had a vasectomy, then that's not really a viable option. The next option would be a 5-minute minor procedure with no downtime, no recovery time, called NovaSure procedure. That results in little to no period, and 97% of women who have this procedure would recommend it to their friends. And then finally, we have our last resort of a hysterectomy. But Rosalie, this is not the medicine of 20 years ago. That's not the first line of treatment anymore.
If a woman thinks she's premenopausal, what should she do?
So we try to stay away from postmenopausal estrogen now after the WHI study came out years ago that showed that possibly greater than 6 months of use of estrogen may increase your risk of breast cancer, heart attack, stroke, Alzheimer's, and dementia. But there are other options. A common option is an SSRI medication called Lexapro and Effexor. These have both shown in recent studies to help with hot flashes.
Where can our viewers go to get more information, Dr. Pollack?
They should go to aboutheavyperiods.com. That will tell you everything you need to know. And of course, go to your doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Pollack. This year, take a proactive approach to keep your body healthy. Drink that water and care for the environment by recycling plastic bottles or upcycling a used possession and give it a new look. Be prepared for winter colds to stay flu-free. And use prescription drugs with caution to keep your family protected. Ladies, pay attention to symptoms when your body is experiencing changes. Some secrets are important to share with other women. Women who protect their health will stay healthy to continue to nurture their family and take time to enjoy friends and loved ones to share a happy and healthy new year. Will the solutions to this show's issues help you or a loved one? Find shows like this and others on our website at RosalieArcherShow.com.